First speaker who will be doing Project 3, the moral of the story, the title, The Power of Choice, 5 to 7 minutes. Gus Davies, who we always look forward to, and see what he has to say today. Gus Davies.
Every day, each one of us, we make decisions. And those decisions could be good or it could be bad. And when you make those decisions, you always have to choose something. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Let me tell you the story that a king once lived in a village between two mountains. He was very popular. The people loved him. He made right decisions about their individual lives, their families, their business, their farming, and he just guided his subjects to live a very prestigious life. They loved him, a wise king. And he helped the people to advance their community so that it made a difference, not only where they lived, but everyone around them knew that the prosperity of that village was based on the wise king they had. But also in that same village, there was a young man who was trying to find himself. He had a problem with his own self-worth. He had a problem with his own family. He was frustrated. He was just trying to figure himself out. So one day, he made a choice, a decision. He said to one of his friends, "We have a wonderful king. He's a very wise man. He's done so well in our community. I want to prove to our community that this king is not wise, and we can disrespect him and can disgrace him." So he said to his friend, "We are going up to the king, and we're going to put a question before him." So this young, defiant young man, who probably wanted an ascendancy to the throne of the king, started to make his way up to the palace. He had a little mob that followed him, and they arrived there. And when they arrived, everyone welcomed them and said, "You want to see the king?" And the king said, "Yes, I will speak with this young man." So the king came out, and the young man, with this plan he had two questions for the king. And after all the protocol, he said to the king, he was clutching something behind his hand, and he said, "King, what do I have in my hand?" And the king looked at him, and he said, "You have a bird in your hand." And this young man, was now just swelling up in him and said, "Man, he's getting there." He answered the first question. Then he had a second question for the king. He said to the king, "The bird in my hand, is it alive or dead?" That was really his point, to see how wise the king is. The plan that the young man had was this. If the king said, "The bird is alive," this young man would squeeze that bird and kill it. And so the king would be seen as a foolish. If the king said, "The bird is dead," this young man would just let the bird fly free, and everybody would see in the village that this king was not wise. So that was his plot. That was his plan. So as he stated the question to the king stopped. He was thinking, looked up, looked around, looked down, looked at the young man. And this young man now, you can just imagine the crowd that was there. They are now just swelling up. Yes, yes. You know how young adults are. Yes, yes. And they want to bring a shame to the king. And then the king looked straight at the eyes of the young man. And he said to him, "Young man, there's a bird in your hand, and the life of that bird is in your hand." That is a choice, young man, you could make. And you can just imagine how disappointed this young man was. And all of those who've come around him, there was a moment of silence after the king spoke. And so this young man shamefully bowed his head, started to back out in the crowd, and he alone walked away from the crowd. And there, all of his friends were now saying, they joined all the people who were there, "Long live the king! Long live the king! We have a wise king!" And thus, the people in that village continued to believe in the king. They continued to trust the king. They continued to believe on the decisions he made every day. So choices. You and I will make a choice every day. You and I have to make a decision every day. The choice